Well, hello. Here we are again together. Maybe this is your first time popping in on one of the moments that I like to share on a weekly basis. Uh, I like to remind you who are listening, beloved friends, that you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. Sometimes that's easier to remember than other times because life happens. And so today I thought I'd talk about a little bit about what it looks like when life happens. Part of the challenge with the way life happens is we often live with an illusion that we control our schedules, our lives, uh, some of the choices we make, etc. And it is an illusion. We can make choices about what comes at us in this moment, but we can schedule a dentist appointment next week with the intention that if we're still around and if everything works correctly, we can go see the dentist next week. But many of those things are outside of our true and deepest control. We manage our anxiety by putting things on our schedule and imagining we can show up for those and do those things. Uh, I'm not saying don't keep a schedule. That is not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that we are less in control of our lives than we'd like to believe. And that creates a kind of anxiety in our lives, creates a kind of a sense of being out of control. And that's an uncomfortable feeling, especially since the beginning of our lives as we're growing into toddlerhood is learning to assert some kind of control of our reflexes, of our ability to get up and down and walk around and do whatever those things are that toddlers are supposed to do. One of the ways that I deal with my out of controlness in life, and I want to invite you to do the same, perhaps if it's a practice that works for you, is in the moments that are most chaotic in my life. Are between moments that are most chaotic in my life. I ask the question, what am I learning? What am I learning in the midst of this thing that's happening in my life? Um, for instance, at the lowest level, I get caught in traffic. I planned for a 15-minute drive to get from here to there. And it is taking more than 15 minutes to get from here to there. What can I learn from that? Well, I can learn to leave earlier, I suppose. I can learn that even the best laid plans are not always in my control. I can learn to be patient with what's coming. I can learn to appreciate, for instance, as I'm sitting in traffic, whatever music I might be listening to on the radio, or if it's a talk show or a news show, I can really kind of be present as I'm there. I can actually use that time in my car when I'm caught in traffic to turn off all the other distractions and simply practice being silent in my car, to let the emotions that are rising go, to watch them as they rise, to know that they're there, and then to let them go. I can practice just about anything when I'm caught in traffic. And what I can learn is that this moment doesn't have to be wasted. I think to myself that a moment caught in traffic is wasted time. And quite frankly, society affirms that for me, tells me that's a real waste of my time to have to sit in traffic, etc. But it doesn't change the reality that I sometimes have to sit in traffic to get from one place to another. And so when I am caught in those places, what can I learn from this moment? What is this moment teaching me? Beyond that I'm out of control, perhaps it's teaching me that I can choose how I receive that out of control moment, that being caught in traffic. And perhaps what I can learn from it is how to practice the breathing that I talk to you about regularly on these moments. I can practice breathing in and breathing out and letting go of the things that are outside of my control. I can actually practice those. I don't have to just be stuck in traffic, as if stuck in traffic is my true state of being. My true state of being is deeper than that, as is yours. You are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you are. So use the gift of that moment, perhaps to just be thankful. Perhaps it's a moment for you to be thankful. Thankful that you have a car that you're in that's getting you where you're going, if you do. If you're taking the bus or some other means of transportation and you're caught in traffic, thankful that you don't have to be the one driving, that someone else is getting you there. Thankful that you are breathing and alive right now, because that is a gift that you don't often get a chance to slow down and be thankful for, because you're rushing from chaotic thing to chaotic thing on your schedule. So you can just live frustrated, angry, upset anxious about what's going on in any given moment. Or you can practice when you're caught up in the moment. And if you do it in small ways, if you do it in the small things, like being caught in traffic when there's nothing else you can do, or in some other moment when it's simply you left some food out to thaw so you could cook it for dinner and it's still not thawed. In those moments, what can you learn? How can you, because part of what you learn is how you're going to respond in that moment. And you get to choose. You get to choose. So in the little things, like the thawing moments, the traffic moments, I practice asking, what is life? What am I learning right now? What is life teaching me? And then when the big moments come and I am on the edge of utter frustration or anger, I can take a step back. What is this moment teaching me? What am I learning about this life, this wild and wonderful life I've been given? And how can I respond in this moment, perhaps in ways that are less self-destructive or less other destructive, as I say ugly words and have ugly thoughts about the other. Instead, I can choose to respond in a different way. You can too. So remember, you're infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift that you are. And so is everyone and everything you encounter in life. And each moment, there can be something you can learn, something for which you can be thankful. And perhaps in responding that way, you can make that moment a different kind of moment for you and a stepping stone for the next moment in your life. Well, that's just one way that you might deal with it. So, infinitely precious and unconditionally loved gifts that you are and that I am. I hope you have a good day, a week, and look for the lessons that you might learn from the things that are happening in your life. Until the next time.